Seth Davis, a college dropout struggling to find his footing, operates an underground gambling operation out of his residence. Despite his accomplishments, his father Marty, a respected federal judge, consistently admonishes him. One fateful night at the casino, Seth is joined by his friend Adam and Greg Weinstein, a wealthy business partner. While Seth finds satisfaction in his casino earnings, he remains haunted by Marty's disapproval and the looming threat of legal consequences that could bring down his operation. In the midst of it all, Greg presents Seth with an enticing opportunity, an offer to join J.T. Marlin, a brokerage firm situated a good hour away from Wall Street near the Long Island Expressway. The allure of potentially amassing millions alongside a legitimate income leaves Seth both captivated and intrigued. Upon joining J.T. Marlin, Seth undergoes a group interview led by the company's co-founders, including Jim Young. During the interview, Jim lays out the expectations for Seth and tantalizes him with the potential to accumulate immense wealth, enough to reach the billion-dollar mark. However, before gaining independence as a stockbroker, Seth must accomplish 2 milestones: closing 40 accounts and successfully passing the demanding Series 7 exam. J.T. Marlin employs a strategy of cold calling to sell its shares to potential investors. As Seth becomes engrossed in his new role as a trainee stockbroker, he finds himself irresistibly drawn to Abby Halpert, the secretary of Greg's former girlfriend. Alongside his romantic interest, Seth manages to climb the corporate ladder swiftly, impressing both his parents and his superiors. He gains entry into an exclusive circle of senior brokers, a testament to his professional prowess. Despite his achievements, Seth encounters obstacles along the way. He experiences clashes with Greg, his once friendly associate, and faces the challenging reality of his casino shutting down. These setbacks add a layer of complexity to Seth's already turbulent journey within the company. The FBI investigation has exposed J.T. Marlin's deceitful practices. The company's fraudulent scheme involves engaging its brokers in a manipulative trading technique known as pump and dump. Under this scheme, J.T. Marlin artificially inflates the value of shares from non-existent companies. However, once the company halts the manipulation, the stock prices plummet, leaving investors unable to sell their shares on the market. Recognizing Seth's sharp intellect and relatively brief employment at the firm, the federal agents set their sights on him as a prime target for their investigation. His involvement in the company's illicit activities puts him in the crosshairs of the authorities. Following Seth's successful completion of the Series 7 exam, he earns a promotion to the coveted position of senior broker at J.T. Marlin. Taking advantage of his newfound status, Seth sets his sights on Harry Reynard, the company's purchasing manager, who is deemed less fortunate compared to the usual targets known as whales. Harry shares his family's frugality, explaining that they are saving to buy a house. Seizing the opportunity, Seth manipulates Harry's aspirations by presenting a seemingly incredible investment opportunity. Exploiting Harry's trust, Seth sells him 100 shares at $8 each, fueling Harry's hopes for a prosperous outcome. However, when Harry contacts Seth to inquire about the underperforming stock, Seth continues his deceitful tactics. He convinces Harry that the stock's performance is inconsequential, urging him to remain optimistic. Tragically, Harry and his family find themselves in dire financial straits, unable to realize their dream of purchasing a home due to Seth's manipulation and the worthless shares they now possess. Harry's vulnerability and trusting nature deeply unsettle Seth, leading him to realize the inherent untrustworthiness of J.T. Marlin. In the midst of this realization, Marty disowns Seth, condemning him as a thief and a menace to society. Seth gathers the strength to confront his father in his office, tearfully confessing that he not only closed down his casino, but also delved into an illegal occupation that he had mistakenly believed to be legitimate, all in a desperate attempt to gain his family's acceptance. Overwhelmed by guilt and desperation, Seth proposes to his father a plan to exploit the corporation for their own benefit. The following day, Marty reaches out to Seth, expressing remorse and extending an invitation to join the fraudulent endeavor. However, Seth initially hesitates and rejects the offer out of fear of jeopardizing his father's esteemed position as a judge. Following the FBI's discovery of their IPO scheme through a recorded phone conversation, both Seth and his father find themselves arrested. In the courtroom, the FBI offers Seth a deal: federal immunity in exchange for his testimony against J.T. Marlin once all the suspects are present for the trial. However, there is a potential threat to Marty as well if the FBI uncovers evidence of his involvement in criminal activities. In a bid to secure his father's release, Seth argues that the only way Marty can regain his freedom is by testifying against the firm and providing substantial evidence of their unethical practices. Together with the agents, they decide to keep Seth in custody overnight. The following day, Seth returns to work, carefully transferring all the investment documents onto a floppy disk, collecting crucial evidence to support his testimony. Implicitly, it suggests that the FBI is preparing to execute a raid and apprehend everyone else involved, signaling Seth's eventual freedom to depart from the situation. The following day, Seth dutifully complies with the FBI's instructions and reports to work. Before his departure, he resolves to rectify his wrongdoings and retrieve Harry's lost funds. Crafting a narrative that portrays Harry Reynard as a crucial and lucrative asset during a pivotal moment, Seth proceeds to deceive Michael Brantley, the company's founder, by suggesting that rejecting Reynard's involvement could result in significant financial losses. Seizing the opportunity, Seth convinces Brantley to offer him shares in the company's forthcoming initial public offering, IPO. However, Brantley imposes a condition that Seth must refrain from selling the shares until after the IPO has been fully subscribed. In order to secretly sell the shares without Brantley's knowledge, Seth requires the signature of a senior broker on a ticket sale, an act that Greg, his immediate supervisor, adamantly opposes and explicitly declares he would never endorse. Seth approaches Chris Varick, aware that their time at J.T. Marlin is limited due to the impending FBI raid and the company's imminent downfall. Sensing an opportunity to make amends and assist a deeply troubled investor in recovering his lost money, Seth persuades Chris to provide the necessary signature, suggesting that it could be a chance for him to do one thing right. Reluctantly, Chris agrees to help Seth in this endeavor. Subsequently, Chris swiftly exits the building, evading capture by the federal authorities. As Seth walks towards his car, having severed ties with J.T. Marlin, he contemplates his future and the path he should take. Moments later, he drives away, resolute in his decision. Simultaneously, a fleet of FBI vehicles, including cars, buses, and tow trucks, arrives at the parking lot, their agents swiftly pouring out to initiate the long-awaited building raid. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more videos like it. Your support keeps the reels rolling, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next recap.